Yeah, good morning, friends. So, welcome to a technical seminar. So, I introduce P. Shruti, who has completed MS in cybersecurity in University of Haven. I invited her for a technical seminar for you people. As such, even she has shown good keen interest for coming up with some content that is useful for you. So, kindly pay your attention. Yeah, I request Shruti to take over the mic. Thank you.
Good morning, all. Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you, sir, for the introduction. I'm really glad you're all here. Hope I'm audible.
Yeah, can you speak once again?
Uh,
Yeah, it is audible. Yeah.
yeah. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for the opportunity. I'm really glad you're all here. Thank you, sir, for the introduction. Um, Let me share my screen first. Sir, I've requested the screen sharing option. Yeah. All right. I hope my screen is visible to all of you.
Yeah, screen visible now.
Yeah. All right. Before starting cybersecurity, not just as my career, but as a way of securing the digital future. So, let us now talk about how this happens, why this is happening, and how we can do what we can do about this. All right. So, security. All right. To think about this, let's take a scenario. Let's take you. You are a person who live with your family in your house, right? And when it comes to a family, you all connect to each other, you have a connection between each other, you have a bond between each other, and so that you communicate with each other what's happening in your life, what's going to happen, or anything that's auspicious to you, you communicate with each other, isn't it? So now, when you zoom out really far from your family, from your house, you see this one small thing called Earth, which is a physical world. Physical world is nothing but the collection of infinite number of families in infinite number of houses, right? Now, comparing this physical world to a parallel world, let's say it's a digital world. You cannot see it with your eyes, but it parallelly exists with physical world, right? So when you compare this scenario, you live with your family in your house. Similarly, in digital world, you work in a organization, work in a network in an organization. So your family is nothing but the network that you share in your workplace, and your house is nothing but the organization you work in, right? Similar to the family, here in organization, you feel the connection between each other, you communicate with each other, what's happening in the organization, what things to be taken care of, and all this stuff, right? This is possible only because the whole network is connected with each other. Without connection, you cannot communicate. Similarly, when you zoom out far from this network, from this organization, you see a whole world, a digital world, which is a combination of, which is a collection of infinite number of organizations with infinite number of networks. Now, coming back to the physical world, the first thing that you think about your family and the second thing you think about is safety and security of your family. What does it come to your mind when it comes about security? The first thing that you would do is lock your doors tight. You lock your all your doors of your house to make sure you don't have any strangers in your house or you don't have any issues that enter your house, right? Apart from this, we'll have another scenario. Let's talk about you have a guest in your house. Now, when you have a guest, you cannot lock your doors and sit because we are all taught that Atiti Devo Bhava, right? So you need to respect your guests. When you have a guest, you open the door and let them in. Now, when the guests are at house, you have three scenarios. The first thing is there is nothing secret. You can talk everything. It's a normal situation. You talk normal things with your guest, have a chit chat and stuff. Now, let's say you're going to make coffee for your guest, right? And let's say you're out of sugar. You don't have sugar now. It's not really respectful. Come
Yeah, she,
the
wait a
yes, sir.
second. Power gone.
Oh,
Yeah, please, you can start.
yeah. Yeah. Talking about talking about the security, and you have the guests in the house now. So you are making the coffee for your guests and you're out of sugar. Now it's not really respectful, or you make sure that your guest does not know this. You just want your mom to know this so you can fix the situation. Now, what do you do generally in such situation? You casually go into the hall and you say your mom to come into the kitchen and you tell your mom that you are out of sugar, right? Because you cannot let guests know this. It's embarrassing, right? This is one scenario. Now, let's say you got the sugar, you made the coffee, and you're all sitting in the hall drinking the coffee together. And now you need to say something that you forgot to order your food for the guests. Now you don't have food coming for your guests. Now, because you're in the middle of the situation, middle of the conversation, you cannot get up, go into the kitchen, and converse about it. You need to convey the message to your parents at that moment, but the guest should not know it. Now, what will you do? Let's say the guest is knows Telugu and you know Telugu and Marathi. So now that the guest should not understand and only your parents should understand, you speak in Marathi. You tell it to your parents that we did not order the food yet. We are supposed to do that. You do that in Marathi to make sure your guests are not understanding it. So in this scenario, because this is physical world and it's only four people in a family, it's very easy and we naturally do it. We don't have to put much efforts to it. But when it comes to the digital world, the organization can have anywhere between 50 people to 10,000 to 20,000 to 1 lakh people as employees as a part of their network. Now, doing all these security purposes, making sure your guest is not listening to it or making sure your doors are locked, all these processes over digital world is taken care by a system which is cyber security. And this is why we need cyber security. All right. So we were talking about protecting the system, networks, and data from cyber attack, right? So if there is an attack, there should be an attacker. So who is this attacker? Right. We have two kinds of attacker. Coming back to physical world, we'll talk the scenario in physical world. So let's say uh, you are having a good family, good house, you're happy with your life, but you have this one neighbor who always pokes their nose into your matters, right? Now, let's say you've got less score in your examination or something. So your father is scolding you, or your father is like, you know, not happy about you, right? Now, when your father is scolding you inside the house, that is, you're inside the network, inside the organization, but there is a communication happening. Now, the neighbor tries to hear over your communication through a window, right? Now, hearing to the information is not the bad part. After hearing to the information, listening to the information, they take this information and go tell it to everyone in your colony, which is embarrassing, right? So, these people are called intruders. So, intruders are basically they are not part of your network, they are not part of your family, they are not part of your organization. They are an outsider who tries to take your information and sell it. Right. These people are called intruders. Now, when you come for other kind of attackers, for this scenario, let's say you have a servant maid in your house who comes to clean your vessels, clean your house, that things. Now, the same servant maid works in your neighbor's house, in all the houses in your colony. Now, though your neighbor is not sneaky, though your neighbor did not listen to you, because your father scolded you in front of your servant maid, the next morning, whole colony knows about it. These kind of people are called insider attackers because she is a part of the network temporarily. She comes into your house in the morning, works, and goes. She is a part of the network. She's inside the network. She is not an outsider. So, out of these two people, insiders are the dangerous people who attack your system because you can never identify how the data got leaked, who leaked the data. Because in the house, it's only four people and you have one servant maid and you can easily point it out. But when in an organization, out of 4,000 people, you don't know who is that one person who is leaking out the data, right? So now we have understood what kind of attackers we have in the society. So now that you know the attacker, you should think about what are the major types of security that you should take care of. Talking about that, the first type of security is infrastructural security. Infrastructural security is nothing but it takes care of the power grids all over the building, telecommunications, that is intercoms that you use to communicate with each other. Otherwise, some water pipings, you know, you should make sure that the building is not having any water leakage. If there is a water leakage, then your physical files might get damaged, right? So all these things should be taken care. They should be secured, and this falls under infrastructural security. The second kind of security is environmental security. Here, you need two things to be considered. The first thing is environmental conditions, which is like temperature, pressure, and many other things. Like if you take a laptop and sit in a sun and work for 3 hours, your laptop gets heated up very fastly. So you need an optimal temperature to continuously work with your system. Right. Similarly, if you are working with a semiconductor industry, you need optimal pressures and temperatures to maintain the metals that you are working with. Right. So all these kinds of things should be secured. Apart from this, we also have natural calamities. So we make sure in an organization that we have a disaster safe technology, which means, let's say we have an earthquake and we got a building collapsed in it. Now that the building is collapsed, it should not be like you don't have any data. Your data is erased. You should have a backup where it is located somewhere far from that location so that the earthquake is not affecting that building and you will have a backup of data. This is called environmental security, right? Then the third kind of security is administrative security. This is majorly about how the company should work, how the organization should work, what are the rules and regulations they have, and what are the procedures they should follow when you're taking up an assignment. Let's say, for example, you're calling an Amazon help desk and asking for a written, requesting for a written of a product on your 46th day from purchase. Then the help desk person would say you that we are so sorry, sir, our policy does not apply for it. Our policy says it's only 30-day return. Why is this happening? Because there might be a data breach where they have used the used the object for 45 days, and they're just returning back some fake object. It is possible, right? So they have policies for all these things. These things come under administrative security. When it comes for fourth thing, that is physical security, this is where security guards, doors, fences. So you have strong doors, or you have doors that opens only when you give your fingerprint, and fences that are high so that people don't cross over it, and signs. Notice boards when you go out, like customers only or employees only, etc. Right? These kind of signs are important to let people know that you cannot enter this area. All right. Then the fifth and last kind of security is information security. Talking about information security, you have three types of information, three forms of information in a network. One is the information that is in communication. Second one is in information on process. And the third one is information in storage. So talking about that, information in communication is, let's say, sender is user A is sending the data to user B. Now, from when the data is moving from A to B, you should make sure the data is not being grabbed in the middle or overseen in the middle. So this is security when the information is in communication. The second kind is computer security, where now the data has come to a computer B. There is no problem while communication, but when you're processing the data that you have received, there might be a chance that the attacker takes the data. So, for example, you have a secret that you are thinking about your secret. When someone comes and asks you, you can deny of telling it. You don't tell it because you know that you cannot tell a secret out. But does computer know this? Computer just shows up information whoever asks it. It doesn't know if you are asking or if an attacker is asking, if is it a good guy or bad guy. So for that, you need to train your computer to show the information only to the authorized people. Right. This is computer security. When it comes to the third form of security, now that you have got the information and you have processed the information, you save this information somewhere, right? To for future references like flash drives, pen drives, etc. In such cases, you make sure the flash drives and pen drives, even lost, cannot be read by an attacker so that your data is safe. Right. These are the kinds of major kinds of security that we should take care of. All right. Now that we have known about the attackers and security very well, here is a small activity kind of thing that I think you will have an idea. You will get an idea after this. So we have three passwords here: option A, option B, and option C. Naturally, we think option A is the easiest one. Option B is a bit difficult one because we have two special characters, and option C should be the most difficultest one, right? So let's have a look now. Let's say I'm copying this password, and we have a website, right? This website tells us how strong our password is. All right. When I'm pasting it here, see, it says that ABC at 123 can be cracked in 6 minutes by a computer. So you can use your system happily for 6 minutes if you are having this password as your credential. All right. When it comes for second password, let's say this one. Wait. See, did anyone expect this? Like password 123 should be the easiest password, but it says that it's going to take around 400 years. Right. Now, expecting that password 123 is going to take 400 years, this must take like around at least 500, 600 years, I guess. Uh, we are using so many symbols here. It's the toughest password we could use, so nobody can crack it. But if you could observe this option C, all the special characters are in the same order of which you have on your keyboard. So it is easier for the computer to crack it easily. All right. But when it comes to option B, in the word password, it's PASSWORD. So I have replaced at symbol with in the place of O, which is unusual. Generally, they replace it at A, right? So this is something unusual. So it's taking around 400 years to guess that password. So I would say,
One second.
yeah,
When you have shown that W, that last one, that was
yes, sir.
paused. Could you please show that again?
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, yeah. This is the output that we get when we see that. So it's taking only 22 seconds to crack the password, which means all of us thinking these many days that that could be the toughest password to break, that's the easiest one. Even ABC at 123 is taking 6 minutes, but this password is only taking 22 seconds. So you make sure when you are using the special characters, make sure that you are not using it in the same order that you have on your keyboard. Make sure you are jumbling it, right? So, sir, is it possible that we continue, or is it okay if we take a 5-minute break?
Yeah, right. We shall go for a break of 5 minutes.
Yeah.
After 5 minutes, I'll come up with a new link.
Ah, sure, sir.